All right, welcome back to this coaching demo series. And in this part of the series, we have identified what Anshul wants, we sussed out the resistance, we re-imprinted him with a new belief system and a new learning, and we've gotten rid of all of his fear of rejection now. Now we're gonna create the new mental representation of how he's gonna be in the future, and we're gonna bind it to a belief about himself. Great. So now let's take it to the editing room of your mind. And I want you to make this an example of how you'd be thrilled to be in the future. So we're going in and I want you to go inside and you're going to make this movie of you. Yeah. And you're going to see yourself being totally connected to yourself, to what's important in the way that you were explaining to me. And as you have that connection, make this movie of you being totally connected, perhaps even connected to your goal, connected maybe to the people that you can't wait to serve. And I want you to start to add in resources here. You might add in fun. You might add in being engaged. You might add in, the freedom to be yourself. You might add in focus or an ease or feeling capable, whatever you want to add in, or anything I didn't mention. But I want you to make this movie exactly the way you want it to be in the future.
Yeah,
What's different about this movie now?
it's brighter,
Mm.
and I can see mm, people faces, so they are engaged, they are smiling, laughing. My voice, I changed it a bit, and it's like it's speaking a bit more faster and energetically,
Okay.
and there's more spontaneity while speaking, and taking questions in a manner which is like slotting them, that if it is not really contextual, then that becomes the part of, this is how I'm thinking that this will become part of my next webinar,
Right.
and I'm telling that to my audience. So yeah, it's more fun, and the way it comes up and how I'm responding spontaneously and prepared to, okay, if something, if it's deviating, how to bring them back to the subject or the
Now,
context.
how did you get to this point? Did you include in the movie you working on the webinar to get there?
Not really.
Let's add like a little montage of you in flow or just in your passion or even having fun doing the working on it and then getting to that scene of you being really successful the way you just described.
So interesting part is that when I started working on this part of preparation,
Mhm.
that one-to-one part started playing the role in the sense that I am preparing the content, then I am sharing in my peer group to get their feedback to improve it before taking it to,
Beautiful.
yeah. So that
Do you
is,
like that?
yeah, I like
Yeah, good. So what I want you to do now is I want you to step into the movie from the beginning and run through it from the inside all the way to the end and feel what it feels like to do it. See what you'll see. You're working on the webinar, you're taking it to your peer group, getting it refined, feeling engaged and fun when you start to present it, feeling so good as you do so, spontaneous, and see the faces smiling, nodding. Look at the look in their eyes as they're engaged with you. And you might even, something unexpected happens, but it's okay. In fact, you have fun and you engage with the spontaneity of it. And play that all the way to the end.
yeah.
Great. Do you have any resistance to this?
No, rather in this I also could include, or rather it came up spontaneously that I am taking feedback of my audience, how it was and what they would like to experience or hear more about next time.
Fantastic. Now, do you want to add anything else? No, I'm not going to ask you. I'm going to tell you. Okay, this is my command, but also it's my rule. I want you to make it better somehow. I don't know how you're going to do it, but I want you to rewrite the movie, only make it twice as good somehow. You either have to have twice as much fun, or you have to be in twice as much flow, or get twice as good a result. I don't know, but you have to make it better somehow. Okay?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to take the way it used to be. Yeah? Where you were looking at the computer and you got distracted and I got to go learn more, all that stuff. Remember that?
yeah,
Okay. And so I don't know how you subdue your counterexamples. For me, I like to make them like black and white, like old newsreel kind of thing.
mhm,
But take the way it used to be, make it black and white, or however you do it, drain the color out. You might change the size. And when you're done subduing it, I want you to change the submodalities of that so that you look at it, it's like old news, like black and white newsreel. You know that that's what used to happen, but it's in the past. And it's just kind of like, oh yeah, that thing happened back then. But when you look at it, you don't feel any emotional pull to it. In fact, your attention is automatically drawn to this new way. Okay?
yeah,
Now connect them. So I put the old way, small and black and white in the inside corner. Other people like to touch it to the side. However you want to do it is fine.
yeah,
Great. Now, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to make this example touch the other examples of the webinar. And I want you to notice what happens when you do that. Do the other examples change in some form or fashion? For some people, they shrink or disappear. For others, they actually may change in content. Whatever's right for you is totally fine. And some may not change. Just notice what happens.
yeah.
Right? And so what happened? Did they change?
Mostly, I observed the change when I touched it. The change was happening in the voice. The
Change is
voice
happening.
was becoming, yeah, more engaging and more fluid.
What about the times when you wanted to do your webinar but didn't?
Those kind of shrink.
Okay, great. So what I'd like you to do is take the new transformed group, however you represent that. I want you to put it into your database in the same submodalities of certainty.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So come on back to me for a sec. Open your eyes. You got a lot of birds over there, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of trancy, huh? A little,
It's difficult to open either.
yeah. A little trance first thing in the morning, you know, goes a long way.
Mhm.
All right. So just out of curiosity, if let's say we're back in front of your computer, okay? And just imagine, put yourself back in front of your computer now, and you're
Mhm.
going to start your webinar, all right? And you're starting to do your webinar. Just notice what happens.
The first thing that comes up is the date which I am putting on that when I am wanting to do this webinar, the date of.
Fantastic. And then what about, like, let's say that you see somebody else's webinar.
The first thing that comes to my mind is just look at the process part of it, how it's structured, how they engage,
Mhm.
and assimilate what is useful.
Great. And how long do you spend doing that?
Not much. I am more focused on preparing my own and
Great.
good.
Fantastic. Okay, good stuff. All right. Um, it's a good, I think this is a good place to take a break, probably.
Yeah.
Um, when is a good time for us to do the next counter examples?